nice card, man. I think like that Bellator European section makes so much sense. Oh, something just fell over.
As long as there's not someone falling over
Yeah,
downstairs.
there's not someone just killing over there. And I thought about this in like the EFC sense, because if you take what UFC Bellator Europe has done, is they've made like a whole new section to Bellator, but then they've made it European, so they're just using like local fighters. So the logistic costs in that's come down dramatically. And I think that's such a, like, business-wise, it's such a clever move.
Yeah, no,
because
definitely.
you've opened up a whole new section of Bellator, really. So you're going into like European talent, which is a hotbed of MMA, obviously, and at the same time you've like drastically reduced your logistical costs. You're not flying people from all over the world. So we're talking about Carl's fight coming up. For his first fight, it was in Newcastle, which is, he stays in Sunderland, so it's like just down the road. So it's his hometown. So all those guys, you don't have to sell a single ticket.
Yeah.
Because all those guys are going to sell your tickets for you. They take their commission and they stack out the arena. Carl was saying something that he sold close on like 300 tickets, and he probably could have sold more if he had.
And what's his commission per ticket?
Oh, I don't know, but it's pretty good, I guess.
What's the average ticket price there? Probably £100.
Yeah, somewhere around there, maybe £80 to £100.
So you get 10%.
Yeah.
So say £8 a ticket. We got make it around over. Probably made like an extra £3,000.
Yeah. Well, we can actually try to find. Sorry, we are without producer Rourke, so
I predicted he was going to ditch us today. I predicted it.
They posted something with like a listing of the tickets and stuff on somewhere, but I mean, like that's it makes so much sense to me, and like like we so quick to slate the EFC for their tickets and that, but people are doing it, and if you can and you can make extra money. My thing is the major difference here is that, can you see prices on there?
Yeah.
So let me go back. Oh wait, we can.
So the upper tier is 300 euros, and then 150 euros, and then 100 euros. Then it like drops to 80, 65, 55, 45, 30 euros for the nosebleeds. Interesting, like configuration. There's no. It's
not like circular. It's all
there's no stadium seating behind the actual. I suppose because they do that big.
It's like a gladiator setup.
They do that big like Pride style entrance, which makes a massive difference. Yeah. I like that though.
Yeah, it is quite cool.
When you look at these cards and you look at the UFC's current situation, don't you feel like sometimes that maybe they just need to mix it up a little bit in terms of the entertainment? Like copying the UFC is great, but maybe just to spice things up, to maybe bring in a little bit more entertainment value to these cards.
Well, let's start by putting big fights on. You know what I'm saying? And this is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about, is like the state of the EFC. Okay, so in that last in the Hex Graham did. He revealed quite a lot there. Yeah. Whether it was like emotional,
which was really good. Just please sort that the situation out. Like I was like listening, like, oh, what did he say? What did he say?
Like whether it was emotional or just wanted to play cards and just kind of explain to what was going on. Regardless, like he mentioned Kwesi going under and owing them 8 million. Okay, so I get that, and obviously that's going to force you to cut down costs per card and stuff like that. But what about the other 17,000 broadcasting deals that you've signed? SuperSport, SABC3, or from here to the roof of Africa, Iconic Sports TV into Europe, all over. You know what I mean? Okay, these are all smaller quadrants, and I know the Kwesi they had like banked on it for quite some time. It was a complete fucking disaster every time.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Kwesa went under administration. They basically owe all their creditors. So basically, in this instance, their creditors are the content providers, like the EFC or any sort of content provider on their platform. They owe somewhere in the region of 130 million US dollars to these creditors, and EFC's 8 million. I think that equates to about $565,000. It's a very small part of that, and when they go into these administration deals, they try and figure out the best way to fulfill their liabilities, and their creditors definitely don't get back what they owed, but they try and find like a middle ground somewhere. So I think the EFC is going to be one of the last guys to be sorted out with under the administration. So I mean, it's owned by a Zimbabwean billionaire, and it's under the Econet. it's under the Econet Media Group, but it's a sad situation, because I think a lot of upcoming promotions in different sports, whether it be soccer, obviously the various combat sports. I know that I think Color Coded Promotions was on there, and that type of stuff.
There was a lot of boxing on there. There was a lot of boxing.
So obviously these guys, these like emerging promotions and entertainment businesses, they're gonna get hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Guys who like Serie A. If there was any Serie A games on Quest, it doesn't really matter in the greater schemes of things for like the Serie A or Bundesliga or someone like that. But it hurts the small entertainment industry, like the EFC and so forth. So it's sad, but what can you do?
Yeah, the show's got to go on, but this is the thing, and this is the thing that I wanted to say. So by holding back on the best possible fights, so Graham said a couple of things in there. He mentioned that he was saying, ticket sales, we don't make ticket, and because it all came about with, I think it's Lyle Karam who's saying he'll get a sponsor to fly himself out and fight for free, and Graham was kind of insinuating that this is the way you're supposed to be, like this is the kind of people we want in the promotion. You know what I want to say to that is fuck you. Not to him, but to Lyle Karam. Honestly, straight, fuck you. Because honestly, these guys are not fucking doing this.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Bro, honestly, like, it aggravates me, because you're trying to paint this picture that you want fighters to come and do this for free. Go fuck yourself, because that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is the fastest growing sport in the world. You know what I mean? They want to become the biggest sporting brand in the country by funneling money in here and there. But you want to say, okay, cool, let's get a couple of fights on for free. Cool. Why don't you just fucking pull into Billy the Bums at 4 o'clock in the morning and just go film those fucking oaks beating the snot out of each other? You know what I'm saying? Bro, it fucking irks me. It drives me crazy.
So two things that I think I don't think Graham was insinuating that he's going to fight for free. I think they understand that it's a professional sport and they must pay these guys. But I do agree with you on when it upsets me when anyone offers to do a professional service for free, because it fucks up the actual community.
Exactly.
So I design restaurants for a living, right? And
for free.
Definitely not for free. But like you go into some of these meetings and you tender for these big franchises and that, and they're like, yeah, but this guy came in at like a quarter of the price, and you're going, but it's literally not possible. Yeah. So, or they'll say, oh yeah, but they're doing the design for free, and we must just pay for the drawings. And you're like, see that fucks up the ecosystem of the actual community, because it's not viable for people to do stuff for free, or to do it at such a low rate. And when fighters start offering to fight for free, that's problematic, But I've faith in Graham that he won't take Lyle up on the free offer.
Look, and there's a bunch of guys shouting that they'll come and do it out for free. I think Kieran Malone's one of them.
Who?
Kieran Malone. He's from Dinky Ninjas.
Oh, okay.
That gym, saying the same kind of thing. And like I get it, bro. Like you want to get on the card, and then Graham was going on about, like, we provide this good opportunity, and they do. I'm not taking any of that away, but that is not a selling point for fighters to say, well, look, you can go and get yourself XYZ in sponsorships with the opportunities we're giving you, but we can't pay you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes no sense to me, because how are you like pulling the curtains onto this like blonde bomb shot of a promotion, and then closing the curtains on throwing chicken bones at your fighters? You know what I'm saying? That to me is just a recipe for disaster, and you can see they're starting to spill down. And I understand they're under pressure, but by putting on weak cards is not going to change it. It's going to only worsen it, because I promise you, like, the negativity on social media aimed towards the EFC is growing, and I see it all the time. Like every week, it's EFC this, EFC that. And there are naysayers, 100%. There are generally negative people, 100%. There are people that just want to hate on the EFC just for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
But a lot of that is becoming like super negative. It looks to me that they don't know what to do there. They're like kind of holding on. They're 100% banking on Drickers to save the show. You know what I mean? At the end of the year, I think in my mind, the Drickers vs Soldier Boy, the rematch, was what they really were hoping was going to pan out. But with all due respect to Ben Lazar and the EFC, I'm just assuming, because if I'm a businessman, realistically, that's going to sell. You can start that from now. That's all we'd be seeing. You know what I mean? We'd just be hearing about that fight already now.
Yeah.
Obviously, it hasn't panned out that way, but in that same breath, Lazar versus Drickers has opened up this whole new kettle of fish, because I think all of a sudden Ben Lazar is like this cult hero. You know what I mean? He's just like, you know, we always counting him out, and he's always winning. So that's worked out quite nicely. I'm just a little bit nervous with where the EFC is going. Not to say that it's going to crash, but as fans, we're not going to get what's out there. We're not going to get the reality of MMA in the country, and that's sad. That's reality. And we know, we can see the scatterings, the way people are starting to just like look elsewhere, and all these things are starting to happen. And it's becoming a bit sad, to be honest. The weight classes are just thinning out, fucking left, right, and center.
Well, so on the way to training, I always drive past this Questa head offices, and when I was driving past there, I was thinking to myself, like, how
are you playing that tiny violin?
I was like, how do we actually fix the situation, right? Because I don't want to see the EFC go, and I know you don't want to see the EFC go. And I mean, we need the EFC in this country, because people forget about the dark age prior to the EFC.
The Stone Age.
Where I remember fighting at Walter Sisulu Hall in Randburg, and the main event was Martin van Staden versus Leon Maynard, and I was like, this can't be the highest level of MMA in South Africa. You know, you got an undercard of amateurs, and then you got a pro card of
Let me just bring
of
your
guys,
attention to this over here.
of guys.
Something like this.
I'll just brought up the EFC 85 card. And I mean, those pros were earning $1,000, $2,000 to fight. So I mean, we can't go back there. So then I started racking my brain, like, how do you actually fix it? Because we always like to bitch and moan, but often we never give solutions. And I think one thing that most companies do when times become a little bit harder is that they breathe new life into the company through selling shares of the company to individuals who are quite like upbeat and enthusiastic about the environment. So it's kind of like when Chelsea, I know there's way different scales, but when Chelsea's sold to Roman Abramovich, and you know, he was passionate about soccer, and he brought in all his money, and he revitalized a club that was really dropping every season in the league and was inevitably going to be relegated at some stage. So it's kind of like with the EFC, I'm sure they've thought of this, and this isn't, I'm not, oh wow, why don't we think of that? But you know, like get investors in, get new blood into the actual organization, and try and revitalize the actual situation. I was also thinking of maybe changing the format. You know, we had 8 fights on the weekend. That felt more than enough for me at the event. Maybe start putting the cards back down to 8 fights a card. Maybe doing like a combat sports weekend, you know, have grappling events in the arena earlier on the Saturday. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but
See,
you know,
I think you're very close to like getting enthusiasm back into the company, and I think new like ideas, new blood, new concepts is definitely one of them. You know what I mean? Like if you watched, I don't know. Like I've always said to people, if I could choose any time to go to Vegas, for example, it would be now. like this combat
International
week that
Fight
just
Week,
ended,
yeah.
or International Fight Week. Why are we not doing such things? Is combat sports not that big enough? The bigger problem comes down. There's too much ego and too much arrogance between like the boxing world and these looks like. I mean, you were at the Arnold Classic. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just there's just
And most
a
of those-
magnitude of caca.
And most of these events were done really poorly.
yeah, like
you know?
the speed Rubik's cubing.
Yeah.
But there's people there that are interested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, okay, so the PR has given the EFC this opportunity to host things and do different things, and they really are doing like cool things here. But I mean, everything's last minute, like it's like haphazard. Okay, cool, this is happening tomorrow, like fan day kind of thing, press conference. We don't know what it is. Is it a press conference? Is it a media day? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even know.
So, well, what actually got got me thinking about this like whole like combat sports weekend or expo is that the owners of the EFC, the business they sold to buy the EFC was Sexpo, right? So they definitely know how to successfully run exhibition style events, and now they got Cannabis Expo. So I was thinking, and I was actually thinking about the Arnold Classic, and when you go there, they got kickboxing tournaments, jiu-jitsu tournaments, judo tournaments. They have fencing. They had night tournaments, like literally guys in full scale night uniform, like steel guards, and it was crazy. And I was thinking like the EFC could definitely run something like that.
Yeah.
You know, they have the expertise to run something like that. And then maybe that's actually the new angle to come in with these events. They have an eight fight card that's like the main attraction of this thing.
Boy, sorry to cut you, but before we drift off there, that's why do you think Brave tried to do that? That's exactly what they had in mind. So they looked at the scenario and they're like,
but they're a bunch of knobs, and they did it at Sun City.
But I'm saying, that whole setup that they had in mind, okay, Monday to Saturday night is a bit ambitious.
Especially at Sun City, you know at $2,000 a night.
It's very fucking ambitious. Even in Klerksdorp, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, it's a bit ambitious. If you're starting from like, okay, so at the moment, Fight Star said they were coming back. I don't know if they still are. They seem to think that.
No, but they didn't say they were coming back. They just showed the supplement range.
Oh yeah. get jacked with Fight Star immediately.
Oh man, like the honestly enough supplement companies.
Hashtag no ephedrine in our supplements. Cool, bro. If you want a pop for banned substances, head on over to Fight Star supplement store. Fuck, what the hell? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? So like, have a grappling competition, like a full on grappling day and night. Put a quintet in there.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like
you have amateur grappling, pro grappling,
and then
have a
start on the Friday night with the Alpha MMA card. Drag them in, let them do like their big card of the year.
Yeah.
Even if they've got like a little tournament going on, put that on the Friday into the EFC on the Saturday. Dude, it makes so much sense.
No, I agree.
It makes so much sense to me. Obviously, the logistics and there's costs involved, but honestly, like it's not. We're not saying like put on the maddest thing fucking covered by Supersport. Just get people excited about it.
That would excite.
Again,
And you know, I was thinking about it as well. You know, we've spoken about running our own events, our own jiu-jitsu events and stuff. And I was even willing to say to the UFC that I would definitely help and try and get that going. You know,
sure.
The problem is that when you get stuck into this rut of negative thinking about something, you know, like you start not being able to see a way out of it. So, like from my side, and I know that you would get involved and Rourke would get involved, and like I'd love
when Rourke's available.
Well, when he's not surfing in Durban. You know, like I want to definitely help them as much as I can, but you know, you kind of need them to also show that they're willing to be helped.
That
number
they
one,
do it as well.
Yeah, and then number two, that they've got like a strong plan to kind of fix the situation. You know, so. Yeah, I just hope that by the end of the year we're in a better space. And I was so excited at the beginning this year. You know, that Martin van Staden and Joe Cummings card was epic. I loved that card. I thought that was fantastic. And then we went straight into the Fighter Season 2 recordings, and that was epic. But then it seems like we hit April, and then it just completely
April of doom.
Yeah, just like completely everything came to a halt. You know.
Yeah.
And I can only assume it was time for Quest to start paying some of that money, you know,
and it's grinding to an even more halt. The next thing in there is that it looks like we're not going to see many overseas-based fighters coming here.
Yeah.
I saw Jake Hadley say he's got fight news coming soon. He was kind of insinuating that it was here in the EFC. So that's cool. Is Jake a crowd puller? I don't think so. We've only seen him once. Okay, he defeated Zulu Boy. Is he going to be the kind of star that's going to really get people excited? I don't know.
My feeling is that flyweight division won't be around for very long.
Yeah, well, there's nobody left there realistically.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
Zulu
ask
going up
them,
to
yeah.
fight Faiz at Bantam. I mean, that's an indication. And then you had Chipfumba and Fafa Dwama, who are both flyweights, who
Yeah,
also fought at
sure.
Bantam now. Doesn't seem like there's much of a push to do these fights at flyweight anymore. And you're right. I don't think he's a big enough draw card. You know, the biggest draw cards in South Africa are South Africans. Actually,
Yeah, but also to put South Africans against high-level South Africans against high-level international
Yeah.
opponents always has that air about it.
no,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
So Graham was claiming that he's trying to get Joe Cummins into Risen, whatever that means. But so Joe Cummins is quite clear. He's at City Kickboxing. He's trying to make a move. I think that's quite obvious.
So has Joe moved to City Kickboxing in New Zealand?
I don't think he's there permanently, but he's there at the moment. And
Okay.
He's been there for a little while. He's been there a couple of weeks. So what happens to Joe Cummins? We don't
That's
know.
a phenomenal team.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I mean? And I mean, Joe Cummins is a legit champion.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a guy you want to keep in the organization. Whether we can hold on to him, my honest gut feeling is that we're not seeing Joe Cummins coming back. I don't think he's coming back. If Graham's saying stuff like that, like they're trying to negotiate a deal for him to get into Risen, dude, I just don't see him coming back. And they were saying that they don't really have the money to bring international
Yeah.
fighters back out here. So what do we do with those champions?
yeah. So for the guys who don't know, if you contracted to the EFC and there's an opportunity to fight internationally, the EFC generally take over the negotiations for that,
Yeah.
and they obviously negotiate a certain like almost management fee
Yeah.
to let it happen, which is completely understandable. If you reference like the UFC when Conor did the boxing fight, they made 20 million off that
Yeah.
fight, you know, because they negotiated it. You know, from my perspective, what Graham's potentially trying to do is trying to keep the champions connected to the EFC while letting them get fights internationally until the EFC's financial situation comes to gets a better position.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. But like the thing is that really going to pan out? Can you say, okay, just go over there for now, earn all that money, be on a big international stage, and then, you know, when we're doing better, come back?
Well, I assume like if Joe has success at Risen, he's not coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
Because Risen's co-promoting with Bellator now, and the
Yeah.
champions are cross-promoting. Like Horiguchi's the champion
Yeah.
Bellator and Risen now, and then they've got Juan Archuleta's going over to Risen to fight. Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
so the other side of that is you've got this immense amount of talent that is just being shelved.
Yeah.
And that's not good for them. You know what I mean? Look at Jared Van Der Rohe. That dude, I mean, it's a dog show. The poor dude is kind of like stuck between. I mean, he's also he's not coming. It doesn't look like he's coming back. He's trying everything to get into the UFC. You know what I mean? Like and you know, like that kills me. Like, okay, I don't know what he'll do in the UFC if he'll get there. But if he doesn't, he's got a big problem on his hands. Because now, what is he going to do? Because it's quite clear it doesn't look like he's going to be brought back here. So where does he go from here? What does he do? You know what I mean? Because he's kind of just sitting there waiting around,
No.
he's trying to be active to get onto the UFC, but they're just not making that possible. And that's so you're shelving this guy, you're putting his career at jeopardy, which is scary for me, man. You know what I mean? It's not ideal, you know.
Look, as a heavyweight, being the EFC heavyweight champion hasn't boded very well for guys that have transitioned over to the UFC. I mean, Cyril Asker had a little bit of success, but I mean, in general, the heavyweights haven't had much success in the UFC. If I was Jared, I would try and get back onto the regional circuit in America and rebuild from there. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of watching Jared fight. But I understand some guys are. But I personally don't believe it's a massive loss if he doesn't come back. You know, I think there's there's heavyweights in South Africa that have got bigger pool than Jared.
Okay,
I think
cool. Name three.
Ricky on a card is bigger than Jared on a card.
I'm with you, but it's you're gonna lose a champion.
No.
So you've lost Andrew Funzel, we don't know what's happening with Ruan Potts. Moving along swiftly, you've lost Stuart Austin, you've lost Jared Van der Aar.
Stuart not coming back at all.
Said he also mentioned now that he's got fight news and it's not in a promotion he's been before. He's getting shelved, bro. So he's got to make moves. So you've lost Funzel, Van der Aar, Stuart Austin. We don't know what's happening with Potts, dude. That division is starting to. I mean, Elvis Moyer. We don't know if he's ever coming back to MMA.
Has he made a decision to stop MMA?
I have no idea. But it doesn't look like he's doing anything for that. You've lost Vessel Master. We don't know where he is. So that heavyweight division, dude, is just like thinning out, and it's in an area. You're in an area where realistically, when MMA is still quite young, it becomes very dependent on your heavyweight division, because that's where people want to look. You know what I mean? That's where people expect like these huge KOs and almost like guaranteed sort of finishes. So in a growing environment of MMA, those are your big sections, your light, heavy, and heavyweight.
Yeah.
Those are where the most excitement will be generated. You know what I mean? And unfortunately for the EFC, they've had so many times where it just hasn't gone their way. You know what I mean? Like you pit like Nico Yamji against whoever, and you're like, somebody's getting sparked here, and then they sit on the back foot for 3 rounds. You know what I mean? It goes to decision. So, and when you've got that division, it's just like there's nobody there, man. And
open the fighters thing on the UFC website. I was actually going through the.
What you want to see the
actual
fighters?
roster?
Okay, cool.
I was actually going through the roster on Saturday or Sunday, and it seems like a lot of star power has been lost in the EFC. So you can go all the way down to the ladies. So if you take into consideration that international fighters aren't coming back, right, that strawweight division is non-existent.
So Daniel Ilyasov is gone. Kiara Penko,
international.
For now, so she's international. Shine Flismus is gone. You got Power Number there and Karolina Vocic. They mentioned that she would probably be fighting
Alice Ardelin.
Yeah.
But no internationals coming back for a while. That's being put on a moratorium.
Unless they've pulled the Lyle Karen, bro. They're fighting for chips.
That sucks brutal. And you can't even put the 2 remaining ladies because they fought the other day in one of the worst fights in history. Okay, so now you can basically strawweights is scrapped. That's not happening.
How is out of all these ladies that came in for flyweights, how is Alice Ardelin making it to strawweight?
I think that it's like a consolation because she did really well on the show, and then
cool. So cut your leg off to make strawweight.
Yeah, look, I think she could do that at a push. I think.
So look at the flyweight. Let's take all of the ladies from the Fighter Season 2 out of the flyweight.
Yeah, take all the internationals out.
Okay, Jacqueline Tressier.
Which, her fighting Amanda third time.
Amanda Lino. Shanna Power just announced as well that she's not coming in September.
Yeah, but she's
unforeseen circumstances.
But she's also considered an international fighter now.
Yeah, also known as can't buy the flight. And that's it, bro. So there's literally Jacqueline and Amanda. Hey, so let's get that trilogy going, bro.
Christina Volmerant.
Oh yeah, she's fighting now. Hey,
yeah.
She's fighting Christina Stella. She's also coming out. So maybe the flight.
No, she got scrapped. So go look at the card.
Oh, yes, you're right. Actually, hey, yeah, we saw that. I was just thinking that's changed. Okay, so that's scrapped.
So now you got no more flyweight division.
So Amanda, bantamweight. Okay, Katrina Ruja, who's if she comes back, she's definitely no longer a bantamweight. She's probably like a easy walk-in at flyweight.
Yeah. She's leaned out a lot.
Ruslan Zuak is not coming up.
Is Katrina? I mean, I saw it today, but is she coming back to MMA ever? I mean,
I don't know.
she hasn't been like training for MMA and stuff.
Yeah, so she's had a bad injury, dude. And I think
Yeah,
it's
that
one of
knee
those
injury was
injuries,
horrific.
Like, yeah, it's one of those that it's either you never come back or it takes a very long time, you know. So we wait to see, man. No one knows. Rizin Zuak.
I saw Rizlan and Bunmi having a conversation on Facebook the other day where they were both like, EFC's not talking to them, which is crazy. I think that's the fight you actually want. You want Bunmi versus Amanda. I know they're technically part of the same camp, technically, but they don't actually train that much together. Amanda's based in Belito.
They've got no calls to take that fight.
Yeah. But I mean, surely that's the actual fight you want to happen. I don't see Amanda making flyweight anytime in the near future. So I don't think that Manon fight's happening in September.
No, it's definitely not happening in September.
I mean, that was the indication that was happening in September. We're like 8 weeks away from September. That's not going to go down.
No.
So that's actually the fight you should be making. I mean, Bunmi's been very active. She just did Abu Dhabi World Pro, and then she went over to the ADCC Nogi trials. And she seems like she's super keen to fight.
So before that Durban card got scrapped, those were the mutterings, was that it was going to be Bumni versus Amanda at bantamweight, because then it doesn't affect.
I definitely want to see that.
Then it doesn't affect the fighter season. If Amanda loses, she can still go back down and continue with that, which made a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's two locals in Durban. You know why that never happened, I guess we'll never really know, but that was an opportunity gone missing there for me as well, dude. But I mean, let's have a look at Bumni's 2-1. When was the last time she fought, dude? I can't even remember.
Wasn't it the Durban card last year?
Let's see.
UFC
70.
Which one was 70?
Let's check. You might be right though. Might have been Durban somewhere along the line. See what comes up.
Yeah. Sabai Casino, Durban, South Africa.
May 2018.
Yeah. So she's been
it's
shot.
not a lifetime.
It's a year now. It's over a year now.
So look at this card. It was Lino versus Zuak. That was a cracker. Bumni versus Jacqueline Tressier.
Hey, who's that ugly fella on the bottom there?
Hey.
Look at that ugly mug.
It was Warren King versus Kayambula, the heavyweight. Then Shil Mudley, who's having an epic time at Brave.
Not only is EFC punishing the Brave fighters, but Brave's punishing the Brave fighters.
Listen, Dan Shil, if by some miracle you hear this, come back, buddy. Just come back. You had the doctor versus Ivan Stradom. This was the fight I was talking about where Ivan Stradom looked like he was going to go into cardiac arrest.
Tabani Mdebela seems like such a great fighter that you can market, you know?
Why is he not active, dude?
Yeah.
Why is he not active?
Look, I know he runs his own medical practice. But yeah, why wouldn't you have...
Was this after your nose was broken?
Before my nose was broken. I've broken my nose 3 times.
It's a strange picture because it looks like your nose is doing a U-turn.
Check it out. So a funny story. My nose was very skew. And then when TC Kusu broke it in my last fight, Santa Maria Fenta backstage, to the begging of my wife said, Santa Maria, please just fix his nose right now. Fix his nose. I'm like, the fuck, I can get it fixed tomorrow. Just leave my nose alone. Santa Maria's like, okay, cool.
Well, I'm getting goosebumps.
She realigns it backstage, right? Because I had a double fracture, so it was a floating piece in the middle. And then since then, my nose has been a lot straighter. So that fight actually helped me out big time.
Yeah. Didn't help that picture though.
No. That was pre getting my nose broken straight.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
But yeah, I think that's a great fight to still make, is the Bunmi Amanda fight. I think that's actually the fight.
Okay.
I mean,
where were we?
the Manon Amanda. Yeah, we're looking at the fighters. We're actually looking at the roster currently. It was you on Bunmi, and then you clicked on Bunmi, and then we went.
Okay, here we go. Oh, we were trying to see. Okay, Bunmi, we checked out EFC 70. We're flicking through the divisions here. Cool.
Okay, so at a high level,
No,
bantamweight, not much happening at bantamweight either.
Jeez, but look how long this flyweight list is. Okay, Zulu
Okay, Zulu has gone up to bantam.
looks like it. Okay, so Martin De Beer is still around.
Ruvan's still around.
Ruvan De Beer. Chipfumba's moved. Marino's still around. Magna Alves probably never coming back.
Yeah.
Guy Mongambi's still
Who
around.
just fought at bantamweight.
Mm-hmm.
Octavio, I don't know where he is at the moment.
Tavio Abdullah San, I'm pretty sure is retired. Yusuf Hassan.
Not around at the moment.
Gary Joshua's still around.
Going over to boxing,
Yeah, he's a professional
which means he
boxer.
can't transition back to MMA that easily. Musa Dick not around. Raddy DeFries not around. Fafa Dwama doesn't seem like anyone wants to watch him fight at this stage, including Graham, who explicitly stated so. Who's that guy on the end there?
This dude.
Yeah.
No idea.
Klop.
Madlop. I can't.
Matlopa.
Get bigger, son.
Yeah. Okay, well, whoever he
Not
is.
even the internet wants to.
Wade
open this
Kaspe is a decent prospect.
Mzamo Super Madlopa.
Oh, super. Yeah. But he's from Durban.
Also fought EFC 70.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my boy could use a burger, if we're honest. That looks walking around at flyweight.
He's got a hectic story. I don't want to tell the story here. I'll let him tell it, or people that know the story better. But he's got a hectic story. But anyway, Wade Kaspe, that's a prospect in that
Yeah.
division.
Connor
Hignat's never coming back.
We say never, but you know.
Yeah. Well, until
Yeah.
international fighters are, until there's finances to actually facilitate having
So look,
international fighters.
there's ability at flyweight, if we're honest. I thought
Still
it
a
was.
bit thin though.
It is, but listen, it's going to get way worse.
Okay, this is the interesting one. So start at the
Bantamweight.
bottom of bantamweight, right? Demart out. Tumisang, he is contending for the featherweight #1 contender spot, right? JP doesn't look like he's coming back to the EFC anytime soon.
So,
Francois retired.
sorry.
Ashard retired. Baldwin hasn't fought in years. Jason Van der Merwe probably never fight again. Chad Henning in New Zealand. Warren King retired. Kevin Pecco hasn't fought in the EFC in a long time. Lutanda's still there. Philip Rouge not coming back. Nerek's still there. Faiz is still there. JC's only just coming back, and Devon's just made a contendership. Billy's there. Takunda's there because he's fighting Billy.
Yeah, Garumbo's got a fight coming.
But that's half the division doesn't exist anymore.
So let's just take a look here. So people keep sending me messages about JP Bates, dude. It's driving me crazy. We don't know what is going on. From what I can see, JP just got married. He went to America, got married. They're trying to set up a fight in September. I don't know if any of you have ever got married that are asking me these questions, but you don't fight a month later. That's generally not how it works.
You might fight a week before your fight and then not again for
You
a
know what
while.
I'm saying? Like, so we don't know what JP's status is. From what the EFC was saying, it sounded like they wanted him to fight now. And
No. So I mean, I think Graham alluded to the fact that JP's not coming back anytime soon.
yeah, well, that's what we know. So please stop fucking sending me messages. Jesus.
Please send all the messages.
Yeah. And you
So
see,
I mean-
Urshad tapped in somewhere today about.
Yeah. Look, I mean,
Hinting-
Urshad got the
hinting at-
fucking most
hinting at
raw
a
deal in
return.
history.
Yeah, dude.
He should be the champ. He should have been the undisputed champion.
Yeah, they're like, Urshad, what do you want us to do now? He popped.
Again.
Give it to whoever, bro. Just give it to whoever. I don't even know.
Okay, so now
This is where things are thin as always.
featherweight, right?
Okay. So Igor's the champ.
But he's trying to get out of the EFC,
Yeah.
not because he doesn't like the EFC, but because he wants to move to the UFC, right?
100%. And you
Sizwe will fight for anything.
Sizwe Mnekati.
Baron Nilobe, was
Never
in New
making
Zealand.
bantamweight. Peter de Klerk is a boxer.
Yeah.
Pierre Botha makes me want to go to sleep.
He's got the contendership against
Yeah,
Tumisang, right?
Again.
Tyson hasn't fought since his children.
Paulo Silva.
International
I don't
not
wanna say
coming back.
anything about that. Sindile
That's a
around.
prospect.
Boyd Allen
Not
don't
coming
think
back.
He's ever coming back. Okay, Adam Grant was one and done.
Is
Never
it
seen him
Adam
come
Grant
back.
or Adam Grant?
Well,
I don't
Mr. Grant
know.
From PFA.
I don't know. Andrew Smith hasn't come back since that brutal knockout.
Yeah. Anthony Mailer, I suppose he's still around. Mamadou Toure, I don't even think he's in the country anymore.
No, he lives in Senegal.
Trezeguet, Tupac. I want the one they call Warren King. I don't know.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Let's call the cops when you see Tupac, boy. I don't know what's happening with old Tupac. I'm sure he'll. Ooh, we've got.
Oh, you highlighted everything.
Tupac.
I wonder why Caleb. I mean, I know Caleb doesn't live in South Africa.
So he's back. He's been asking for a fight. He's around.
That's a good fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a good
Caleb
ground
versus
game.
Tupac.
No, I was thinking like someone like just scroll down again. I was gonna say Caleb versus Sandile Manangela.
Yeah, I like that fight.
I think that'll be a great
That
fight.
one's for free, Graham. Guy, I know you're listening.
I think that'll be a great fight.
Yeah, Stephen De La Rey.
Still around.
So this division's actually okay. Eh?
Did anyone find out what happened with Warren Richards' fight?
I told you, bro. The dude was trying burgers instead of cutting fucking weight. So they told him to kick the bucket and get the hell out of there.
That was one of the questions. If you guys saw the end of Graham's thing, he rattled off a whole bunch of questions. Those are all my questions, but I forgot the fucking Warren Richards question.
I told you the story. Rudy's doing his thing in Thailand.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, Rudy's the new head wrestling coach at Phuket Top Team. Seems like he's having a good life out there in Phuket.
Living the dream. Callum Murray, definitely never coming back.
One guy with a more skew nose than what I used to have.
Shout out to Bundy. Four Faces, he's still around.
Was he? Four Faces?
Four Faces.
Jeez, like that's a serious nickname, man.
Yeah, this is the dude who walks out with the mask and the chains.
Oh, okay. August, the entire buffet, Kayambala.
Yeah, he's probably just going to fight light heavyweight.
Rocky's also not getting back to featherweight. I saw him on the mat.
Dude, how does that make featherweight?
So, like a couple of my first sessions at Apex, he was busy prepping for a fight, and I got there, and I still remembered I was still thinking about still competing, and I was gonna go up to featherweight. And I got there, and I saw this guy's name on the featherweight thing, and they're like, you go with Rocky. So I roll with Rocky. It's not the worst thing in the world. But I'm like, how the fuck does this guy make featherweight, bro? He is ginormous. He's massive. He's bigger than Elaine.
Yeah, he's a monster.
He's way bigger than Elaine.
He's a monster. He's not as thick as Elaine, though. But still, I don't know.
But about a head and shoulder taller than Elaine.
I don't know how you draw water out of stone, but anyway.
Jeez, like he's just chiseled as well. Like
Chris Dove.
Is he? I mean, he's PFA's Muay Thai coach, right?
I guess he's around. Maybe doesn't want to.
Don't know who Donnie Swartz is.
Free. Donnie Swartz gone 0-2. I've seen him. He's must 100% for sure quit fighting. And then dude, it's not. There's not much left here.
I fought that Ali Kalambe once. I actually broke his arm at Empress Palace.
Corne Blom, Carlos Saput.
Doesn't look like he's coming back.
And then you've got guys that don't even have photos.
So Bradley Swanepoel is Monet Swanepoel's son. He's on this next card. And Dylan Swanepoel's the other is the brother.
Okay, so they're coming out.
So I mean, once again, that division's also. It feels like
it's not. Look, there's
definitely talent there.
There's fights there, but there's no contenders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the reality of what's going on.
You'd ideally want Caleb versus Sandile. Do you want that fight, and then obviously you got Tumisang versus Pierre, because ultimately Rudy was meant to win the fight against Pierre and then go fight Igor. Like that was the actual game. That was the plan, right?
Yeah.
But then obviously that didn't pan out, and Pierre won. So I think they're trying to make a contendership there between Pierre and Tumisang.
Sure. If Pierre were to fight Igor Gebese again, I quit watching him.
Okay, so the lightweight division, there's some action here, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of fatalities here.
Yeah,
And
so
by fatalities, I mean people not fighting.
Anisette is definitely still around, and everyone's campaigning for an Anisette Saxon rematch, which I think makes the most sense.
The monster.
Dorkud's not around at the moment.
Chris Bright selling property. I don't think he's coming back.
We spoke about Joe.
We spoke about Saxon is there. Lane is there. Dave Mazzani is not there. Luke Michael has moved to welterweight. Regis Muyambo, I suppose he's always around. Barring you go to Cape Town. Skippers.
Never making lightweights again.
Yeah, Skippers can go to middleweight. Cam Pritchard.
Is Cam prepping for a fight now?
I have no idea.
He looks lean and mean at the moment.
Yeah, he does look lean and mean and ready to go. Chad Hepburn. Jadison Costa, I don't think we'll ever see this.
No.
Christian, he's fighting at 1, Christian Holly.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's fighting at 1. Martin van Staden.
Whenever you see photos that are just on like some Spanish beach having a jaw. He definitely looks like he's living his best life.
Yeah. Martin van Staden, wait to see what's going to happen with him. Pope Jembo, we haven't seen in a while.
I haven't seen Robertson Bowie in a long
He's
time.
back looking
Is he
for
back?
a fight. He is back. Terrell Singh for
Retired?
sure not fighting.
No, he's retired.
Taylor Kennedy's living and teaching English in Thailand. Dion Brunning snapped his knee. I think he's just
Snapped his knee.
catching Palamun in Cape Town. I don't think he's coming back. Dwayne Bones
Wasn't
Jones.
he a university professor or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know, something crazy. But I mean, like, I don't
Yeah.
think he really needs to fight. I don't think he's got the desire.
I mean, for sure you don't want the fucking authorities to pitch up at his house for catching Palamun and
Listen, we're starting a vicious rumor, yeah. Vicious rumor. Roderick Kenner's got a fight coming up.
Oh yeah, he's on the next card.
Yeah, he's fighting Billy Oosthuizen.
No, it's not Billy Oosthuizen. Isn't Billy fighting? You got the homepage right there. Oh, that's a UFC homepage.
Yeah, no. We're looking at those. It can be easier this way.
You see, they're like at you about that Abu Dhabi trip, eh?
Yeah. E-dreams. Buy now. Just in case. Like, yes, guys, I'm ready there. Let's see what's happening on that card. Who's Roderick Kenner fighting? Elvis.
Elvis and Guala Guala, your
My boy.
favorite. Your
My
favorite.
boy. That's a fucking bad fight for Elvis, dude. I don't know why they hate that kid. Why do they keep doing that? Okay. Makishi.
Haven't seen him in a
Someone
while.
keeps asking me.
There's two Makishi brothers, barring the Bernardo Makishi.
I just want to see if this is the
There's
dude with the...
Tapata.
Yeah, this one, the old monkey.
That is a serious nickname. You know, like they always say, like if you have an awesome nickname, you definitely gave it to yourself.
100%.
But if you have a shit nickname like that, you definitely got that in the gym.
old monkey. Maybe it's from like his ancestors or something, bro.
Safis and
1 and
Kobo.
5 for sure should not be fighting anymore. Gavin
Hughes
Hughes
is
is
out.
gone. Your boy Serge Kasako is
Serge.
still around. HP Source van Staden. I think he's sort of still around.
Source. Are you implying something?
No. Someone, I think someone named him Source. I think it was Cyrus actually. Marcel Els is still around. Okay, Hamid Drotsky.
I heard that he's looking for a fight at the moment.
Yeah, Shane Higgins.
What happened to Shane Higgins?
One
He
and
looked
done.
one and done, but he had such a big amateur career. I thought.
No. I'm sure he's still around.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just starting shit. Rayo Sanchez, Tommy Stratum, Given Majuba. Given's also got a fight coming up, I think, or he was one of the ones that got scrapped. Oh, there. He's fighting the GOAT.
Apparently that fight's getting some serious momentum.
The bone cracker first 9 millimeters. It's gonna be pure fire, boy. Pure fire. Someone's O's gotta go, yeah, boy. Check out these records. Jeepers. I'm gonna be late for this fight.
For sure, I have 8 fights on this fight
Pay
card.
per view numbers, boy. Let's get ya. So Majuba is 0-1, and
Okay, so
9 millimeters 0-2.
just to say, I've never seen Majuba fight, so I don't even know anything about.
Oh, they just gave him a loss before he arrived, just to say. Like, yeah, we're gonna give you a record, but it's gonna have to be a loss. No problem, bro.
So hold on, just on 81. So the main event is Faiz versus Zulu Boy.
That's what they try. They said
But
trying.
then they're starting
do.
to fuck around with their heads and saying, who wants to see Faiz fight JP? And I was like, I'm sure Faiz is not fighting JP. JP
okay, so
literally got
that's
off the
actually
airplane today.
why. That's actually why I pulled this up, because I actually wanted to see what the hell they were saying. Because
then I commented.
listen, there's been a couple of problems here. Because first they said Cairo said that Sean DeLange is going to be fighting. Then they made it
which
very
makes zero sense.
clear. Okay, what is going on here? What are they saying? Troublemaker calls his shot against JP. This is one of the funniest moments in EFC post-event. Where is he?
I don't see him. Maybe we should stand up. Well, I took this fight at 24 hours notice, and I mean, if I did this for 24 hours, what can I do with a full camp? Give me that belt, give me my shot. Everybody knows I deserve it. What did you think of that performance?
Which I don't know 100% understand.
It's Troublemaker's time. Yeah!
He said 24 hours notice. I understand it was 24 hours that the fight got confirmed. I got a phone call like 5 weeks before that card and said, "Do you want to fight Faiz Jacobs?" And I said, "I can't. I'm not available."
Yeah.
So I don't know about 24 hours, but I like the Faiz Zulu Boy fight. I think that's going to be an
Yeah.
awesome fight.
So, and then they cleared this up. This we have to talk about. The Temba versus Luke for the title. I mean, obviously, Conrad can't make that weight. And this is, so again, this is one of the things I said, let's just take the questions and let's just deal with it, because a lot
Yeah.
of people are just sending me questions and whoa. So let's break it down clearly here. So the first fight that was scheduled, Luke's knee twisted the wrong way. It was facing, if you're standing straight, it was facing the right completely. His knee was completely out.
So it was
So
a
the fight-
dislocation.
Bro, I don't know what it was. It was a fuck location. I don't know what.
Fuck
location. He posted a picture of the
A relocation. Not
Not
even a dislocation. A
a
relocation.
circle around his knee. His kneecap was literally going that way.
Oh,
It
my
was
goodness.
completely gone.
And it happened in training, eh?
Yeah. And like early on, it was quite early
Yeah.
into the camp. So that was off. Then we had the
Slipgate.
the slip gate, the sauna gate. Okay, and then obviously now. So the first two things to remember are, okay, Luke did pull out one. He was injured. Okay, his knee was fucking broken. You can go and find that picture if you really want to. Conrad, no matter what you say, had missed weight. He got on the scale. Why would you get on the scale after being concussed by the sauna, and then you're still way out of weight? That was a whole load of bullshit, in my opinion. He missed weight, then he missed weight again. Okay, and I had said to you guys that there's. Call me a conspiracy theory, but you heard them say that he wasn't concussed. It came back again. That now all of a sudden he was fine. He's clear to fight.
Who? Conrad.
Luke.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you who didn't read it, basically Luke's got an abnormality
Which
on the brain.
they knew about.
He had his original MRI or CT scan done when the whole protocol came into place, where you had to get the CT scan. The neurologist that reviewed it and cleared Luke subsequently passed away. Graham explained this all on his thing. Subsequently passed away. So when they got the new scan, and Santa Marie, who's don't shoot me if I'm wrong, I think she's a general practitioner with emergency training, emergency care training.
Mm-hmm.
When she
also
when
working
she-
for the EFC, what?
when she read it, she couldn't pass him because she didn't necessarily know exactly what that abnormality was, and needed a specialist, a neurologist to review it. But obviously it wasn't enough time to do it, and the person who originally reviewed it had passed away, so it was just a shitstorm in the end.
No, for sure it was, but
But he's cleared now. He can fight with that scan. For the next 4 years, he's cleared.
so yeah, that's in a nutshell what had gone on. But the EFC were aware of the situation with his whatever you want to call it, not an abnormality, but like some sort of phenomenon that was there. They were very well aware of it, and when he brought that up, they were like, "No, there's something else here." And someone actually commented, okay, fair enough, it's just some dude commenting, I don't know him, from Bar of Soap, saying that you cannot see concussion on a CT scan. It's impossible. So that's why I was saying to you, like, there's something fishy there. To me, they were avoiding the illegitimacy of that contest, you know what I mean, because of the missing weight. You know, in my gut feeling was, if Conrad made weight and they saw that scan, they would have carried on with the fight. But it was just a way out, you know what I'm saying, to reset everything. Is this the right decision? That's what everyone wants to know. I don't know. I don't know why they're in such a rush, and why Temba Garimba gets to call the shots, and they're like, yo, we don't want to keep Temba waiting. I get it. But I mean, it's not in anybody's hands. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But cool, like, there's the thing is also, bear in mind, Luke Michaels has not had a single fight at welterweight.
At all?
Nope.
Ever?
Nope.
I didn't know that.
Hasn't had a fight at welterweight.
I thought he has. I thought he had a couple of fights in the welterweight.
He's been trying to get the one done with Conrad, bro. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So
These guys never schedule that fight again. Never schedule that fight again,
please
ever.
Don't let's let it go. Okay, so there's a lot of weird things going on. So this was the post we wanted to look at. Who is next in line to challenge for the EFC Bantamweight Championship?
But
Zulu or Troublemaker?
Which should completely be mine. I put a comment on there to say I thought that they were fighting each other for interim title, and then Faiz liked it, but that was the indication from Graham, was that they were going to fight each other for the interim title.
Yeah, but I thought that was done.
I mean, I'm not even going to get into the other reasons why it's almost impossible for certain guys to fight at this stage.
That's cryptic. Yeah, so I don't understand what's going on there exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on there. So because in my mind they were making that fight.
Oh,
God,
Graham
please.
literally said it on Thursday.
He
Guys,
did say they were trying to.
If anyone does another fucking bottle cap challenge,
Yeah.
just fuck right off.
Shoot me now, please. So these were the fights. Because look here, this was the summary of Graham's thing. So you had in Casimiro Zulu Boy versus Faiz. You had Garimbo versus Luke Michaels. Dino Bagatine versus Petey Coxon. What weight is that at Petey Coxon versus Dino Bagatine?
Must be welterweight. Dino's never fought outside of welterweight.
No. And do you think Petey Coxon's going to make welterweight?
He's not going to look shredded at welterweight, but I mean, yeah. He's
Lyle-
going to look half dead and look like.
Lyle Karam wants to fight Justin Smith for free.
Is Lyle training out of? I saw Lyle's training out of Absolute MMA. Hey,
Any idea, boy.
In,
Yeah, I saw that
Saint-
post today as well.
that's a strong team, bro.
Vocic versus Alice Odelian. Soldier Boy Drickus versus Lazar.
You got that on the mind, eh?
Yeah, Drickus versus
You're still willing
Lazar.
it along.
Amanda Lino versus Manon. We don't know when that's going to happen. Conrad Siabi and Fafa Dwama with their hands in the air. They don't know what's going on. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, Conrad Siabi didn't make weight. That's reality. Luke showed up both times, ready to fight.
Yeah.
Does he deserve a title shot? I don't know, man. It's in a weird scenario, in a weird world where there's
Well, who
nobody else.
Go to the welterweight division. See who else is in that division. It might be by pure process of elimination. So Rudovic, not in contention. Boba out. Pavia
I wouldn't
out.
mind to see Luke Michael and Justin Smith battle it out.
But yeah,
He's
the problem is
realistically-
Justin's on a loss at the
Yeah,
moment.
but that's what we're saying. That's why they battle it out.
Yeah.
HP Van Staden pops up here again. Oh, my boy Robbie Swanepoel. Boy, he's in the mix. He's in the mix. Okay, let's go from here. So let's see. No,
Stevens-
Bruno Makulu. Don't want to see that.
So, okay, let's just go through the names. Steven Pretorius not in there. Robo's not in there. Kabanda not in there. Bagatine needs to come to a little bit of a win streak, and he
Also
can get right back.
#brave.
Yeah. PT not in there at 5 and 10. Henry hasn't been
Can
around.
we just pause it, guys? Listen, can we please stop asking when is Henry Fadipe coming back? Surely you've realized by now he's fucking never coming back.
Didn't Graham say something that Henry was interested the other day?
No, it's visas, bro. The Oaks, like,
Oh.
he can't get a visa.
Does he have an Irish passport or
I
Nigerian
think he
passport?
doesn't have a passport. I think that's the problem.
So there's Temba, Bruno, no one wants to see fight for a title.
Yeah, please.
There's Sean.
Sean
There's
Delange's in the mix, but also,
Yeah.
guys, like, it was like Sean Delange deserves the shot. Sean Delange's been absent. You know what I mean? He came off for last.
Been
and then now
absent, he's only got one win.
he's got one win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I dig Sean. I think he's a fucking great guy. I think he's great to have in the mix there. But, I mean, saying that he's being robbed of a title shot is a bit hectic.
DeRoche's on a loss now.
Yeah.
Conrad's out.
Neil's
gone up to
doing his
middleweight.
thing.
Queeley's in Bellator.
Trezor, we're waiting to see. Propanga, I would like to see Trezor work his way into the mix there, dude. Get a nice steam fight.
Another guy that was absolutely chiseled out of stone.
Yeah.
JP Van Rooyen hasn't fought again on the mix.
Francis
Kundari.
definitely
no.
not fighting for a title ever in his life. Trezor, yeah, there's not much. I like this weight.
Marcel Teniers just popped for Glenbutrol.
Winstraw, bro, getting hard for some
Gio.
dog.
I'd like to see Gio come back again. I know the Justin Smith fight was hectic, but I mean, he's definitely a talent, you know?
Look, dude, as I'm scrolling through, there's no contender jumping out. if I'm
No, so I
honest,
mean,
bro.
that's what I was going to try and get at. By process of elimination, that is the only title fight you can have. Considering that Luke hasn't fought at welterweight now that I've just learned that information.
Is Elvis Ngwala still chilling in the middleweights? Yeah, bro.
Geez, like that looks so small. I don't know how.
Dude,
There was some cool fights to have at middleweight. I was looking at.
definitely not Elvis.
No. But I was thinking Madsen. Has Madsen relocated back to Norway?
He's always been there. He was
No,
just
he was in Cape
studying
Town.
in Cape Town. Yeah, he was studying.
Okay,
So, when he came out to the last time, I think he was flown out from Norway.
oh, okay.
So
Just-
he's calling for a fight. If they can't get guys from Polokwane here, they're definitely not flying anyone from Norway. Bro. That's Junaid Ebanks, my buddy.
So this division's also a little bit is hit quite drastically by that international moratorium.
All these guys, just by being in the same row of picture with Max Merton, have popped with each other. Yeah, this division.
I think we'll get Gareth back this year.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's done.
No, I don't think he wants to end like that.
Who would he fight?
Like a Warren Allison.
Dallas Jacoby.
Maybe like a Warren Allison. Yeah, why not Dallas? They should let Gordon and Dallas fight again.
Vet League. Yeah, there's some fights to be made there.
Yeah, I think there's some fights at middleweight. Middleweight's never been hard. Light heavyweight's a problem again, bro. Because Dolch's out of here.
Yeah, Alain Badeau is still waking up.
Yeah, he's out of there. Austin's out of there. You got
Maputo,
Skippers. Maputo hasn't fought in ages.
This is what they were saying is
Drotsky versus Rousseau.
Drotsky versus Rousseau. Yeah.
But now you look at the rest of the division.
And
There's
then
no
what?
one for Zakir Badat to fight, who technically, in my mind, is only a fight away from a title shot because of how thin that division is.
Can he fight at heavyweight?
Bro,
Will
he
it not push?
is.
Tiny for light heavy.
No, I mean, I don't think he walks around much heavier than light heavy. You know, like, I think he might walk around at like 95 kilograms. So it doesn't make sense for him to fight these guys that are...
Turn of the boom, boy. That's what we've
Oi.
been waiting for. What is happening with Mapata Makishi's hairdo in this picture, bro?
Isn't that like...
Looks like they cut a piece of carpet and slapped it on his head.
It looks like, you know, when they do one of those Zulu head... It almost looks like one of those Thai Mongol...
I don't know where you're going with this.
No,
Where
but you
you
know,
going
like
with
the traditional Thai...
Yeah.
But it looks like a Zulu version of it.
Dude, carry on. Before I forget, I just want to get this up.
But, I mean, heavyweight's also, like, really not in a great state.
No. It's dog shit, if we're honest.
Guys, I'm telling you, 8 fights a card, combat sport weekends, make it like an exhibition.
Please tell
Do
me you
eight
saw this.
cards.
Please
do-
tell me it's still here.
Do 8 cards a year.
Oh, no.
Well, how
I don't know
intense
how
was
long.
UFC 239?
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that. Dude, so I saw this post. Yeah. Here we go. I don't want to say this guy's name because I don't want to.
Who posted it?
Yeah, I don't want to make fun. The best fighter in the West Rand, apparently. He calls himself the mentor. Check out this highlight reel, boy.
No, this is a joke, right?
No.
This is like being serious.
No, he's being very serious. Check out that pad work, boy. Nah, here comes the real deal. My boy's going to carry on with some technical sparring work here. Now he's going to hit
Against
the
a tree.
MMA
Mentor
fighter.
Machinye. Definitely. If you have to say you are, you aren't. I mean,
I couldn't stop laughing at that today.
oh
It
my
was pretty
goodness. What group did he post that
funny.
on?
MMA South Africa.
Oh my.
Best fighter in
It-
the West.
Did the
Rand.
Oaks absolutely...
Not a
not a
single
li-
like or a comment. Bro. I don't know what's worse.
I thought the Oaks were laid into him.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 laughing faces on there, wasn't
Is
there?
there? No, I think
Oh, it's-
Facebook just chose that themselves.
Oh, 7 laughing faces.
This is so cool, bro. Just okay.
that 360 camera.
Yeah, we're burning out of time here, but this is.
Okay, let's quickly run through 239.
this 360 camera of Ben Askren getting sparked.
Oh, it was brutal, eh?
Ooh,
I love this 360 camera thing that they're doing.
so crazy.
And they had so many knockouts on this weekend to like use it with. So did you see Jorge Masvidal was actually practicing that flying knee?
Yeah. This is now it taps him out, counts him out.
Yeah, I don't think you can get anyone more gangster than Jorge Masvidal.
No, dude. I was trying to explain this to my wife. She's like, "Oh, but what is he?" I'm like, "Babe, listen." This
He like literally
does not give a fuck. I mean, bro,
he talks the talk and walks the walk.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a beast, bro. I'm a big fan of Jorge. Like a lot of people are like, So
I was looking at it like he's had 5 losses in the UFC, right? 4 of those have been against guys who have fought for the title, and 4 of those losses have been split decisions.
yeah.
So I mean, he's always been on the cusp, and that has to get you a title shot.
No, 100%,
I'm sorry.
100%. And I want to see. Look, Kamaru Usman. I think.
Oh no, different animal.
The thing is, the craziest thing about Jorge Masvidal is everyone talks about how good his wrestling is. We haven't really seen much of it. You know what I mean? So maybe there's a secret weapon there. But on Usman's that's just another level.
He's such a gangster.
So the major talking points out of UFC 239 was obviously Masvidal.
Yeah.
The 2 extra shots, my opinion, one of the fights that really like woke me up to MMA was Hendo versus Bisping.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You
That
know what
was
I'm saying?
brutal.
That because it's Dan Henderson, no one says anything at the time, and he laid in that elbow, and they asked him afterwards. They were like, "What about the late elbow?" And they're like, "Well, maybe next time he'll learn to shut his mouth." That's the game. You understand what I'm saying? That's the fight sport. Look, the thing is as well, what Masvidal was doing, he can't really see his face, so he's kind of laying 1-2 shots, and he says it perfectly. It's the ref's job to pull him off. It's not his. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, when you backstage, they give you the same they give you the same talk every time. They're like, "Do not stop fighting unless I tell you to stop fighting." Yeah. Right? So he's obviously quite hyped up and quite emotional about this.
Sure.
He lands the thing he's been practicing for the last 4 weeks to land, and he just kept throwing until someone stopped him. Right?
Exactly.
So I don't know how people can even bitch about that. Even the Dan Henderson fight, right? Yeah, he saw that Bisping was out, but I mean, it's not his responsibility to stop.
Exactly.
You know, how many times have you seen guys where they've dropped someone and they start walking away and the ref's like doesn't stop and they're like kind of like limbo.
Exactly.
That extra like split second or extra second that the guy starts kind of getting coming around. Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with what happened there. You know, you know what you sign up for.
Yeah, and like the antics afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh, has he gone too far?" Like, to be honest, I was laughing. I thought it was pretty funny what he was doing.
I think he's a great entertainer.
When you're Ben Askren and you're talking shit to everybody, you kind of got to expect.
What did you say? I didn't give him the 3-piece in the soda. I gave him the whole MGM buffet.
The whole buffet. Dude, but how crazy, and if you listen to how he explained it, and he like comes forward. Like he started walking forward and he was saying like he could see, okay, Ben wants to come forward, he knows he's going to shoot. So if you listen to what he's saying and they show like there's a clip, I meant to actually put it up, and then he like leans back on the fence with his hand on his back and like laughs and says something, like kind of inviting him in. And then if you see him like he
circles
like,
to the right a little bit,
right and then sprint straight at him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to sprint and then stop and then like throw down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But fuck, dude, it was ridiculous.
Deadly,
That's all you saw on Sunday. It was.
Yeah.
But even like people's grandmothers were like, "Check this shit out."
It was so brutal. That card was so amazing.
You actually forget that Amanda Nunes fucking head kicked Holly Holm almost to death.
Did you see any of the undercard fights though?
Yeah, I've watched.
Did you watch that Yadong song?
It was Perez.
Yeah. So
yeah.
if you know how good Perez is, right? He's had some decent wins in the UFC. And I still remember I posted my predictions and Rich is like, "Oh, good predictions, but Song's definitely gonna win."
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, right off." Perez is so good. He's got such a deep history, and that oak just murdered him.
Dude.
That was what Rich was trying to explain to me, was that this kid is like the new generation of guys that haven't learned jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
MMA,
They've just learned everything in an MMA application. He's 21 and like earning 50 grand bonuses in the UFC.
Living the dream.
And then there was a snore fest between Gedalia and Marcos, but I mean the undercard was pretty good in general.
I liked the dude who fought Gilbert Melendez.
Alan.
Arnold Allen.
He's a prospect, eh?
Slick.
What is he, like 6-0 in the UFC now?
Very, very slick, dude. Very, very, very slick.
Have you ever seen one of his interviews?
No.
He's like so like mousy, meek and mild, and like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah, like Firas Zahabi's perfect guy.
Yeah.
All like that. And then obviously the John Jones Santos, man, it was a crack.
What about the Chiesa Sanchez fight?
Sanchez.
Chiesa's on a different level, you know.
But I also be like against the undersized old Sanchez. You know, I don't think anyone picked Diego Sanchez to win that.
I know, but it just shows Chiesa's a different fighter at welterweight.
He's a beast, bro.
He looked big at welterweight,
he's
bro.
He's huge, dude. He's huge.
I don't know how he's making lightweight ever, bro.
Yeah, cutting his calves off, bro.
And then Home versus Nunes. I mean, Nunes is on a different level.
Bro, I'm honestly hoping they do that Cyborg rematch. I'd love to see that fight go a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like I'd
Yeah.
like to see Cyborg fight.
A lot's gonna have to happen for that to work
Yeah,
out, though.
no, for
I
sure.
mean,
But they're saying they want it, so I don't know.
the
maybe
troubles
it'll happen.
between Cyborg and the UFC aren't a secret, and she's on her last fight now
Yeah,
on the contract, and it seems like what she wants, the UFC doesn't want to give her.
yeah.
I heard that they were saying she wasn't a big enough draw card. I mean, fuck, she's like the only name in women's MMA at one stage. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how do you not? And everyone wants to see her fight Amanda. How's she not a draw card? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
understand that.
And there's what are you gonna do with Amanda if there's not Cyborg? There's fuck all left, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm
So you
saying?
got Durandamy versus Ladd on the weekend, and that's technically meant to be like a contendership fight.
that nobody cares about.
Durandamy, if everyone remembers, was so
Yeah.
scared to fight
Yeah,
Cyborg that
she broke her own hand.
she refused to. She actually refused to fight Cyborg.
Yeah,
I mean,
they took her title. They're like, cool, fuck out of here, boy.
yeah. So I mean, how do you not regard Cyborg as an absolute massive draw card? I mean, everyone was so excited when she got to the UFC because you could finally potentially see her fight someone of like value that's like currently in the UFC, and obviously everyone was earmarking the Ronda Rousey fight. But I mean, well, anyway.
Thank God she didn't fight Ronda Rousey.
Jesse. And then the Jones fight was quite peculiar for me.
So yeah, it was one of I don't want to say it was a cracking fight, but it was one of those fights where you like on the edge of your seat because you know it's almost like Jones doing what he had to do to win the fight, and at any second you think that the Santos could uncork something and just fucking sprawl him out.
Well,
you know
what
what
I didn't understand though, right? Jones is so significantly superior in wrestling to Santos that he could have had a completely different fight and not even put the title at jeopardy even in the slightest.
Yeah.
Had he shot once. I don't think he shot even once in that
So-
entire fight.
so
It was a kickboxing fight between
Yeah.
two MMA fighters, and one of them's a solid MMA wrestler, you know?
Yeah, he said something about being like sucked into the hype of not putting on like a wrestling fight because of the fans, and I mean you can say those things when it's done, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe you were over tentative. Maybe you were cautious of the guy's power. You were too worried about winning, and you know, and that's fine. But it wasn't a bad fight. It was a pretty good fight. I think if the biggest takeaway for me is that Thiago Santos can hang with the best if he has to. I think Thiago Santos as well, because we speak about his power so much, he went the opposite way. You know what I mean? He should have uncorked a little bit more, and especially like if he had enough gas in the later rounds,
Yeah.
like really just start being a bit wild. You know what I mean? And like he is. You know what I mean? Like just fucking, you got nothing to lose. But I mean, if you lose to John Jones, if you get caught with something being wild, like I mean, no one's gonna say, "Oh fuck you, cuck, get back out of here."
The
You know
thing,
what I mean?
the thing is, on paper now you think maybe Santos deserves a rematch, right? Because it was a split decision.
I'd like to see Santos versus Smith too. I think they're two very different fighters at the moment now.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that happen again.
But I mean, if you do the Santos Jones rematch, I think Jones comes and just wet blankets him for all 5 rounds,
Yeah.
and like puts it way beyond any shadow of a doubt who's the better fighter. You know, so I don't even think that's even worth going down that road.
So I guess we were banking on maybe Luke Rockhold making a statement, and then became a statement. Got absolutely fucking.
Did you see how good that was though? So they were in the clinch up against the cage, and Blachowicz had the overhook, and then basically what happened is as the breakaway happened, he let go of the overhook, and while Luke was still trying to get his arm up, he's obviously his guard was completely down, and he just connected sweet with that left hook again.
Jaw broken, boy.
Again a left hook. But I went to Luke's record, and it's like 3 of the last 4 fights have been losses, all by KO in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
He looked a bit punchy.
Dana was calling for him to retire.
He looked punchy though.
Stick to modelling and sailing boats. So I guess the next best bet is you're waiting for like Dom Reyes, Rakic, maybe Chris Weidman can make a statement.
I was thinking that you need to do Blachowicz versus Reyes.
Yeah.
Get a contender out of that. Get a new
That's a good
contender for
fight.
Jones.
Dana, that one's free.
Let Santos let Santos and Smith fight it out in a rematch. Although I know Smith's campaigning hard to get a Rockhold fight because he hates that guy.
Yeah, well, I think that ship just sailed.
I don't see Rockhold coming back anytime soon. Yeah, so that's pretty much the weekend.
Fantastic.
Some action this weekend with the Sacramento card. Good card.
That's
So
going to
pretty
sell
much it.
at least 7 pay-per-views.
It's
That's
not a
free.
pay-per-view. Yeah,
It's free. That's going to 17 people are going to tune in. Fair enough.
it's a good card though, bro.
Yeah,
It's
not a
actually a
bad
good
card.
card.
I think Jermaine Durandamy just absolutely fucking destroyed the name.
Yeah, I don't know how you rebuild the name
Yeah.
now.
Anyways, cool, bro.
Sweet, John. Thanks
Nice
for the
one.
time.
Yeah, that one. We'll catch you people on the other side. I didn't call out the questions, but I think we kind of covered all the questions that, that were being asked. But yeah, maybe next week we'll have next week we are going to have a guest. I'm not going to say who it is because it's not confirmed, but there is something in the pipeline and it's going to be fiery and it's going to be exciting.
Wait, is it that one?
And it rhymes with Shmino Schmagati. Yeah.
And he ain't too happy.
Yeah, Dino's chomping at the bit. So yeah, probably next week we'll have him on.
Awesome.
Should be exciting.
An all Vale affair.
Yeah, in house Vale, it's gonna be
The Vale,
fucking-
the Vale, and
the
Mr.
mayor of
Mr.
the Vale,
Mr. Vale, Mr. Bagatine.
possibly Rourke as well. But you never know.
We are taking CVs for new producers.
Yeah, new producers, hit us. Recommendations: you have to stay in the Vale. Cool guys, we'll chat to you soon. We're
See you.
out. Ciao.